Hey, what's going on, everybody? The Boxing Source here, and wanted to do a follow-up of what happened on Saturday night with Luis Ortiz scoring the win over Charles Martin in an IBF eliminator of sorts. Now, looks like we may have another IBF eliminator coming up, as this one would be like the final eliminator of sorts. You do have a high-ranking contender there, Filip Hrgovic, who, you know, at the time before the fight on Saturday took place, Filip Hrgovic was ranked number 3 in the IBF rankings. Charles Martin was ranked number 2, but did fall to Luis Ortiz there in an IBF eliminator. So looks like the plans are for Filip Hrgovic and Luis Ortiz to be a part of an IBF final eliminator. But you have Colin Sutherland, promoter for the Olympic bronze medalist, Filip Hrgovic, says that, you know, Ortiz got to be able to step into the ring against Hrgovic for a mandatory IBF title shot. Colin Sutherland said that he, was trying to get on the phone to see about making that fight happen between his guy, Filip Hrgovic, and Luis Ortiz. Of course, Luis Ortiz is a 2-time WBC world title challenger. But Sutherland said to Sky Sports earlier that he is waiting for the IBF to send out the letters to both parties so that after that, they could go into negotiations to make that fight happen. He says that, he's familiar with Ortiz and Ortiz's team, and that, they've, worked with them before. So, that's something that they're going to be working on here in the near future. But there's also the possibility of a purse bid that could happen here in this case between Luis King Kong Ortiz and Filip Hrgovic. So that's something where, Filip Hrgovic seems like he is very confident in that he would be able to, defeat Luis Ortiz. Of course, like I said, Luis Ortiz is out there who, had, this victory here against Charles Martin. And the thing about it is that, he has been ranked around the top 5 or 10 or so in the heavyweight division. And like I was mentioning, had those 2 fights against Deontay Wilder. But here you have Filip Hrgovic, that's 14-0 with 12 of those wins by way of knockout. And he did have a recent fight last month over in Las Vegas here while they were trying to see if they could find an opponent for him to have, an IBF final eliminator. But that didn't necessarily work out. So now with him having these string of wins, he's undefeated. Now he wants to have one of those defining fights to say, hey, I am a viable contender to fight for a world title. And this time it would be for the IBF world title, currently held by Alexander Usyk, who did defeat Anthony Joshua last year and is scheduled to fight Anthony Joshua again in a rematch. So the winner of that particular rematch would be looking to kind of like, I guess, fight maybe the winner of Filip Hrgovic versus Luis Ortiz. So that is something here in the heavyweight division that we're keeping an eye on. But just wanted to give an update on that through those reports. Like I said, with Luis Ortiz defeating Charles Martin in the IBF eliminator, you do have Filip Hrgovic there as the next highest rated fighter in the IBF rankings after Charles Martin did lose to Luis Ortiz. So we're going to see if that's going to be the next fight coming up for both of those guys. But we'll, keep y'all posted here on the Boxing Source. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate it. And on that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.